It's time. Lucas Oil Pro Motocross for 2020. It is your season preview here with Racer X. This time covering the 250 class. I'm Jason Weigandt, joined by Jason Thomas and Steve Matthes. We got our man Kellen Brower behind the scenes running the show, and I'm sure he'll pop up with some predictions as well for what is always considered wide open, the 250s. I want to thank our sponsors for helping make this happen. That's flyracing.com, and also go to newrayusa.com. We got a barrage of toys coming. And Eli Tomac, Jason Anderson, and Zach Osborne toys will be coming out at the end of 2020, just in time for the holidays. So go to New Ray USA or visit your local dealer to get your hands on that. Things like the Ken Roxon bike already available now. So the 250s, we already know the schedule is going to be weird this year. We'll show you the schedule. 9 rounds in a condensed amount of time starting August 15th at Loretta Lynn's. So some unknowns when it comes to that, and we tackle that in our 450 show. But I do feel that when we talk 250s this year, the typical wide open unpredictability is gone. All eyes, all focus is on one man. He's a veteran of the sport. He's older than a lot of the guys in the 250 class. He's done it all. He's battled up front in Supercross. He's been on Donations teams. He's won nationals before. I think everyone knows who the favorite, the veteran coming into this 250 championship is. Steve Matthes, do you want to talk about it?
Let's do this, Troll Train. Let's do it.
Troll Train?
Troll Train. You're not getting any younger. It's time. You have a factory bike. Let's do this. The veterans, you're a veteran. Guys have moved out of this class. If there's ever a shot for my guy, Alex Martin, it's 2020.
He can't even win a Spring Creek local race.
Do you think he wants to show Jeremy what he's got? No, he's not going to do that.
I do. I actually
Not at
think
all.
he really does.
Let's do this, Troll Train. 2020 has been a strange and unpredictable year. Let's keep it going with the number 26 holding the number 1 plate at the end of the year. I'm a believer.
Okay, so Alex Martin. We're going with Alex Martin there, Steve, on the JGR Yoshimura Suzuki.
Yes.
I was implying Dylan Ferrandis. Dylan Ferrandis, 2 straight Supercross titles.
Never heard of him.
Okay. Dylan Ferrandis, Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha, second in the championship last year, won 4 races. He's won 6 races in the last 2 years, and back-to-back 250 Supercross West champion, and the rider that beat him for this title last year, Adam Cianciarulo, has moved up to the 450s. JT, come on. Tell me that Ferrandis is the favorite.
Yeah, he has to be. You look at the situation, and I think you could make a case for Austin Forkner if he had been healthy. Yeah. But it seems like every roadblock for Ferrandis winning this title has kind of been knocked down a peg or two. Justin Cooper had a horrific Salt Lake run. I mean, probably the worst run of his career, where we're all kind of scratching our heads wondering what was going on with him. So he doesn't even have the momentum. Forkner's hurt, as we said. The former national champion since Adam Cianciarulo moves up. So you kind of look at it, and the road is paved for Ferrandis to win this title. Now, does he do it? We don't know. But on paper, I think he's an overwhelming favorite.
I said that last year, too, and that came back to bite me because Adam Cianciarulo did do the job on him. The problem with Ferrandis, he always starts a little slow, both in the races, not a good starter, tends to do his best riding late in the race, and doesn't always come out guns a-blazing in a championship. Now, that's the exact opposite of Justin Cooper, who always starts well. He's great in qualifying. He's a great starter. Starts every championship strong. You guys get a little worried? I'll swing it to you first, Steve. Do you get a little worried sometimes? We're seeing like Justin Cooper get to here this like 90% he's got it thing, and he cannot quite close the deal. He's still young. He's still new, but he hasn't quite shown that last 1%.
Yeah, for as many podiums as he has indoors and out, the lack of wins, overall wins and main event wins isn't there. But, man, his stats to start a career are amazing.
Yeah.
I'm fully here for the Justin Cooper-Dylan Ferrandis rivalry. They don't like each other. They're on the same team. I'm fully invested in this. Can't wait. Let's get it going. I wonder what will happen this summer. I think Will Hahn and the guys over there have got themselves a little pickle going on when it comes to those two guys. But, yeah, I look at them both. To me, Dylan is the clear favorite for all the reasons that you two just talked about, and Justin Cooper's right below him.
Okay, so the Troll Train thing is just more – that's just your heart speaking right there.
My heart says Troll Train.
Okay.
Logic and stats and basically everything else says Dylan Ferrandis.
Okay. I'm just wondering, JT, though, because Cooper is such a good starter and so good at qualifying and so good at the beginning of the year, he's really strong where Ferrandis is weak. So is there the chance? Is the opening there if he can find that last step?
I think so, but honestly, if you're looking for someone who can dethrone Ferrandis, I'm going to go J-Mart.
Okay.
I'm not even going to go Justin Cooper, as crazy as that sounds. Justin Cooper's been great, and this shouldn't be a detraction against him. But I look at experience. I think that the Geico Honda bike is much improved for 2020 from where they were in 2019. And I think that's going to serve J-Mart well. Remember, J-Mart left Salt Lake early just because he was so concerned with preparation for this Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship. And the last time we saw him in this series, he was battling for the championship lead. So I think he feels there is unfinished business with this 250 class for Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. And I think if he's really looking at the landscape, there's only a couple guys he probably is worried about. So I think it really does bode well for him. It's just going to be, can he start up front consistently? To me, that's going to be the deciding factor for his success, is can he start up front more times than not?
Okay, yeah. Jeremy Martin, under typical circumstances, is just as good, if not more of a favorite than Ferrandis. He's been there, done it, and back in 2018, when he got hurt, he was right there to try to win that championship for a third time back then. So my only question is that J-Mart back? But first, JT, you said the reason J-Mart left Utah and Supercross was to focus on outdoors. Steve, is that the reason?
Oh, yeah, totally. I know I can't wait to watch NFL this year and Tom Brady just leave in the fourth quarter. I'm saving myself for the next game. Tom Brady.
Well, there's no point out clause in the NFL, so I don't know where you're going with that.
Stars of the sport just leaving, just gone. See you later.
He went to the airport to pick someone up, guys.
Yes, he was picking someone up at the airport. He was not going to the airport for himself.
I'm a J-Mart guy. I like J-Mart. He's gritty. He works hard. He left the Tomac place recently as well. I'm on board with J-Mart, but man, this sport is unforgiving. It stops for no one. He's missed a lot of time. He didn't do anything in Supercross to impress me. The Geico bike is not on the level of the Star bike, even though I just tested it. It's not on the level. And we haven't seen the national champion, Jeremy Martin, on a Geico Honda yet, and I just don't think we're going to see it. Will he be good? Yep. Will he run up front? Yep. But he doesn't have what it takes, in my opinion, to match Cooper and Ferrandis week in and week out anymore.
Yeah, that's what it all comes down to. Is 2018, beginning of the season before he hurt the back, Jeremy Martin back, or 2014, 2015 champion Jeremy Martin back, or has he lost a little percent and those guys are better? I guarantee you this, he's probably watching this right now and training harder because we just said that. Knowing J-Mart. I'll be very angry.
Probably. Yeah. But, but again, keep your eye open for Alex out there. RM Army. JT, you should be on board with that. You were once an RM Army rider.
Hey, if it's a Kickstarter, it's for me.
Okay. We know that those Yamahas in this class, ever since the reverse cylinder fuel-injected Yamaha Yz250 came out in 2014 with Jeremy Martin, who dominated that year, and Cooper Webb was very good during that run as well. That has been the bike to beat. Now, Cincerillo did beat them for the championship last year. We know that the teammates Ferrandis and Cooper will be good. What about the rest of the team? Is it time to talk about Shane? I can't use the other word. Where is Shane McElrath in this mix? Outdoors, he has never been consistently as good as he has been in Supercross. Does that bike, JT, change it? Do we suddenly find the McElrath outdoor title contender we've never seen before?
I think it'll help, but I don't see him being a title contender. I just see too many weekends where you're kind of scratching your head at the end of the day going, where was McElrath today? There will be days where he wakes up and he's just feeling it and he puts in a Budds Creek or Washougal type performance. He has that in him, but he also has the days where we could go to pick a round. We could go to WW Ranch and he goes 9:14 with no real explanation for it. And that's just an absolute killer in a 9-round championship. So I think we'll see more of the same. I do expect to see a lot of hole shots out of him and that entire team. I just don't know if his top end speed week in and week out would be good enough to put him, even in the top 3 at the end of the series.
Weege, over under number of gates he steals this summer.
We actually muted your rant on the 250 class because this is the best part about Zoom. We can do that. Do you want to get into the team tactics shenanigans scenarios there at that Supercross finale? Were you a fan of that either?
It's disgusting. Let's move on.
Okay, I'll tell you what. There's going to be limited fans at these races. Shane McElrath, not a fan favorite right now. He did not win any fans in these last couple Supercross races with some of the stuff he tried with Chase Sexton. There will be limited fans. It's going to be capped at less than half of what the Nationals normally get at most races, except for Washougal and Redbud. The only way you can attend those is if you're racing in the amateur program or you're part of that rider's family or crew. ProMotocross.com. You can get ticket information for these races. Okay, one other guy on Monster Star Racing to mention is Colt Nichols. Quietly gets better each year outdoors. I don't think you're a race win guy type level yet, but he's had podiums before. It'll be good to see him on occasion. I think if he gets a start, he can run toward the front. And then I believe Masterpool is out for that team with injury.
Okay, I was going to ask, does anybody know about Masterpool? Because, again, in this terrific sport that we work in, we've literally not had any reason why a factory rider has not raced Supercross and is not riding right now. But so he's injured. Okay, got it.
Right.
Do we know if Colt Nichols is healthy?
See, here's what makes it even harder this year, right? Everyone's timetable was based on when they thought they were going to race, which, for example, was either May, June, or July 15th. Now the series is pushed back to August 15th. Everyone's injury, I won't be ready for outdoors timetable just changed. So
look, if you want someone to cheer for, Colt Nichols is your guy. He's got a George Michael earring. He's a well-spoken. He's a good-looking guy. He's got crazy skills. I really have a lot of time for Colt Nichols. Unfortunately, has he stayed healthy in one series Colt Nichols has stayed healthy for in his entire pro career. So why would we think 2020 would be any different? I hope it's not, but certainly he could be a guy if he can stay healthy.
Kellen Brower is behind the scenes running this show. You mentioned staying healthy through a whole season. We used to say that about Dylan Ferrandis, and lately he's been pretty solid. At any point, anything can change. But Kellen, you're a huge MXGP guy. You know what Ferrandis once told me? He said a lot of the injuries were because in Europe he had to chase Jeffrey Hurlings and ride over his limit to go that fast. I just want you to bask in that Hurlings love there.
Oh, it's just glorious, right? Yes. I mean, can we just talk more about Hurlings? Like, can we theorize if he came to the Nationals, how well he would do? That'd be great. But no, Ferrandis, he absolutely was a guy that would get injured just too often. He would be pushing that envelope, like you said, and wouldn't make it deep enough into a series to even contend for a title, much less think about winning it. So at this point, it seems like he's leveled that out. He's obviously not gotten hurt in Supercross the last couple of years, carrying a lot of momentum in outdoors. It's going to be pretty tough to derail the train that he's on at the moment.
As soon as anybody came close to the precious Red Bull KTM rider, Jeffrey Hurlings, Giuseppe and the crew made sure that they got out of that class. Ferrandis, Searle, get out. You're getting close to Jeffrey. Get out.
Is that why they did that? I didn't. Wow. Okay.
Logic is not a necessary component of Steve's arguments ever.
Look, we that mute button in the 450 show, but we knew in the 250s there would be several key topics for Mathis.
Hey, can we hold on, Weege? Can we?
You got more?
No, nothing about that.
Yeah. All right.
I would look. It's been a long time since we saw the Nationals, and I just pulled up the points in front of me here, and RJ Hampshire was 4th overall in the points. I kind of missed that. I know he won a national a couple years ago for the first time. He did. When you look at his results last summer, he got 4th through consistency. Now he pulled out of Supercross early. I'm not sure if you guys heard or not because of a torn ACL, but he will be nationals. He will be ready for the Nationals. Some of us aren't quite investing in him for the Nationals like we did in Supercross. However, 4th overall and AC's out of there. Maybe we're not talking about RJ Hampshire enough.
The breakthrough for Hampshire, he's got to get one of these wins. He's got to get a win. He did get an outdoor win toward the end of 2018, I believe, but it was so late in the year he couldn't really capitalize on that. I feel like you see this in the 250 class a lot. And JT, you can talk about how that confidence ebbs and flows. The 250s, it's like you always have these like 12 or 15 guys that all could win. And then whichever one of them gets that break one time, it all changes. It all flips. Maybe that's where we're at with, say, Nichols or McElrath, where all of a sudden it comes out of nowhere. If Hampshire gets one of those wins, Can it elevate him to become genuine title threat?
I think RJ has a chance to do well, but I will say I think it's going to be difficult. Mm-hmm. Regardless of the timeline, he's still coming back very, very quickly from an ACL surgery. And there was talk of him trying to come back in Salt Lake, which was crazy. And then there was talk of him coming back immediately after that for the beginning of Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. Even now, with the significant delays we've had, it's still really early. So for him to come back and beat these guys that have had all this momentum going, right? They went through these Supercross rounds and they went through testing and practice, and they've got all of this time under their belt. To think he's going to come in and be able to beat those guys consistently and win races, I think that's a really big ask. Now, if this series was November, December, January, no problem. But I think he's still really early on the time frame to where he should be at his absolute best.
Well, the timing is everything. Yes, I am shocked he's back from an ACL that quickly. Also timed out, JT, is the gear that those Rockstar Energy Husqvarna riders will be wearing. Can you talk a little bit more about that in depth?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Right.
So, honestly, it works perfectly for 2021 Fly Racing with RJ Hampshire's return. It's the debut of the new RJ Hampshire and the all-new Rockstar Husqvarna themed gear. So, super exciting for us, obviously, with all these athletes returning. I mentioned before that this is the first time we've ever been able to coincide a series launch with a line launch. So the first time everybody hits the track in August is really going to be the first time anybody's seen all of this new gear. So super exciting for us. New look, new performance upgrades. Obviously, there's a ton to see, so go to flyracing.com and check it all out.
Yeah, and there's social distancing rules at the races, so media is not allowed to go to the team trucks, but you can feel that way. I have a prototype. This is a Rockstar Energy Husqvarna Semi that New Ray Toys is producing. You can get it by the end of the year. In Supercross parlance, Mathis was hanging out around this truck a lot and really, really focused in on RJ's Hampshire's results. I'm not sure why, almost like he had a monetary reward for it. There are other guys that are good on that team, though. Michael Moseman making strides, Mathis. I think a lot of people forget how good Moseman has gotten lately.
5 podiums for Troll Train last summer, by the way. Just looked it up. Just wanted to reinforce that.
Oh, 5 podium motos.
Yeah.
Okay, out of 24.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
But look, we only have 18 motos, so 5, 13 without.
Wait, you're taking this year's
guaranteeing that he's going to get 5 out of.
Yeah. I'm taking last year's 24 moto stats and applying it to this year's 18. Yep.
Right.
So
refer to that logic comment I made like 4 minutes ago.
Canadian math, it all works out.
Right.
So if we had a 3-race series with 6 motos, he would win 5 of 6.
5 podiums in those 2. Yes,
wow,
absolutely.
Unbelievable.
Convert those motos to loonies and toonies, and this is what you get.
No, but listen, Moseman, like you said, definitely a rider under the radar. Definitely a guy that you don't talk about much, but he's pretty solid. He was top 10 overall last year. Again, like, does anybody really know Michael Moseman? I don't feel like we do. I feel like he's a pretty, hardworking, normal, nice kid that probably deserves some more limelight than what we give him.
You got to talk to him more. He's actually pretty unique, pretty interesting. A lot of fun facts there on Instagram. And if I were to vote for one rider to host a show like this someday, it would be him. He's a pretty unique personality. Yeah, 8th in points last year for Moseman, Hampshire 4th, so that team's pretty solid. Where did Troll Train get? 6th, bro. Hampshire was ahead of him, Mathis.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do when he can't start his bike at one of those motos, and then I don't know what happened at Red Bud. Oh, Red Bud, he blew up. Remember Red Bud? Wasn't it last year that he was like 2nd and his bike blew up?
I think so.
That was the new engine package weekend.
Yes, on the last lap.
So JGR screwed him out of like 40 points, it looks like, to me. So that puts him ahead of RJ.
I would like to get deeper into the JGR team, but the 250 squad has had, I think, 19 different riders in the last 18 months. I honestly don't even know who else.
When do we talk about the Jet?
Yeah, so we're moving on from JGR. We covered our Rockstar Husqvarna guys. I also have the rookie Jalik Swole. We'll see how he does. By the way, as we talk about Swole and the Jet, the opening round this season will be at Loretta Lynn's, a first one and done. They'll never do this again. They've already told me. They're going to hold the first pro race at the Loretta Lynn's track. Swole and the Jet raced there last year. Let's get into the buzz. Let's get into the hype. The Lawrence brothers. We got a little glimpse of what Hunter could do last year. He won some motos. He was good, but then he got hurt. Now we've got the Jet, his younger brother. They're both ready. Mathis, are you on the hype train for the Lawrence brothers like a lot of the industry is?
No, because because the hype train in the industry is so high.
Oh, it's unreal.
Whether it's the agent, whether it's the team, the gear guys, probably Kellen, because Kellen buys into that fake hype. I'm not there. I'm not on that level, but they're going to be good. Hunter, rookie year, wins some motos. Yep. I almost feel like he's better outdoors than indoors. The Jet will be fast.
You
He'll make
feel
mistakes.
like Hunter's better outdoors than indoors? Almost.
Okay. Much better outdoors than indoors. Right. We'll give you that. Yeah.
So I think they'll be there. I think they'll be both. I think Hunter will be top 5 in points, maybe top 3 in points by the end of the year. And the Jet will have flashes of brilliance, followed by some mistakes because, guess what? He's 16. He's young. But I'm not on the hype train of the Lawrence brothers are going to take over the industry like most people are.
You, JT, where are you at with those guys?
I'm all in. All in. I am all in on both of them.
Wow.
I think Hunter has already proven himself. He won a moto. He could have won another moto at Paula. Obviously, we saw him get in that crash, but
he actually won 2 motos,
JT.
You should do the facts. He won 2 motos. So
okay, well, double my point then.
Okay.
I'll take my point and double it. But I'm all in on these two. I think they feed off of each other, and I think Jet is able to learn from the experiences he watched Hunter go through last season. I think Jet's upside is a little higher, as crazy as that sounds, because I think Hunter's going to do some winning. But I think long-term, Jet's potential is unlimited. So I think it's going to be the breakout summer for the Lawrence brothers after a somewhat disappointing Supercross run for Hunter. I think it's turnaround time for both of them.
Do you think Hunter beats either Ferrandis or Cooper, JT?
In the points, I think it's going to be challenging because I think Hunter starts are still a problem, and he's always going to be chasing from the back. I say always, but a majority of the time. It's possible, but I think the starts, when you have pretty equal counterparts, the starts are such a big part of that factor. And then you factor in J-Mart too, who I've already spoken about. I'm kind of contradicting myself, which I know is my style, but I would put the star guys just ahead of Hunter a little bit. But I do like Hunter to be top 5 in points, which you said originally.
Okay.
You contradict yourself, and then you always say everything is possible.
I said top 5. I said top 5 in points.
I know, but you're always saying things are possible, which we all agree things are possible.
I like to inspire the youth of this nation and make sure that they know that anything is possible.
Will J-Mart's streak of not liking anybody on his own team continue going back to Star Racing outside of Alex?
Yes, I believe so. It probably already has. Like I said, I think J-Mart, as I said at the top of the show, I think he motivates himself with that me against the world mentality. So us picking Ferrandis as a favorite and you picking his brother as a favorite, anyone on his team, they're always out to get him. He puts a chip on his shoulder. I think he rides better that way. So sure, yes.
Okay.
And I want to mention 2 other teammates. I believe young Carson Mumford is going to be racing nationals for them. And Joe Shimoda's also good as a rookie. He's just not as hyped as Jet Lawrence, but he's quiet, solid, kind of a workhorse guy. You never know. He could put in a good result.
I rode both their bikes at Glen Helen. Things are looking good. I like their setup.
Did you help test?
Shimoda's bars are too far rolled back. He needs to roll those things forward. So first sign of trouble for Joe Shimoda, I will point to his bar positioning.
Okay. I cannot believe we've gone this deep into the show, and we are only now getting to Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Mathis, what happened? What has happened to this team?
Well, I think JT brought it up. If Faulkner's racing, him and Dylan Ferrandis are 1A and 1B, right? But unfortunately, Faulkner's
I'd be pumped
out.
On that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really believe that. But they got Whackers, which is the name that the Lawrence brothers call McAdoo, and Weege. He will be exciting.
McAdoo is going to give you everything. If you want to just see what the sport of motocross is all about, you just watch McAdoo, and in one moto, he'll probably give you everything. He'll manage to get I think he can get a good start and a bad start in the same race somehow. I don't know. McAdoo's a wildest of wild cards. He could probably run with anyone, or he could be terrible. I don't even know, man. It's awesome to watch McAdoo.
Yeah, I think he's a 5 to 10 guy this summer. Maybe here and there be a bit better. But all the guys we just laid out, I think, are a bit better than Whackers. but he will be exciting. And he is a rider on the rise. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
And JT, Mitch Payton has picked up Sinai and Mitchell Harrison as fill-ins. What are your thoughts on either one of those guys?
I think it's going to be a challenging summer for both of them. This class is, as much as we talk about some of the guys moving out, Cincerillo, Sexton, Forkner's hurt, there's still a lot of talent when you really dive into it they're simply better than Sinai and Mitchell Harrison. They are. So I think they're going to be on great equipment, but I think it's going to be a struggle. And I think Mitch is going to be frustrated with both of them because there are so many guys that maybe they can't win, but just like Weege said, guys like Joe Shimoda are great riders, and they're going to finish in front of the likes of Sinai and Mitchell Harrison. And there's a lot of those guys that are coming into this class, guys like Carson Mumford, guys you're not really thinking about. They're not at the forefront of your mind that could absolutely beat those guys week in and week out. So it would not surprise me at all to see those guys running around 13, 14, 15, several motos throughout the year.
This 250 class is all about what youth rider is going to kind of break through. And that's totally the theme for the Troy Lee Designs Red Bull KTM team. You got Brandon Hartraft, who seems like a veteran because he's older than his teammates, but it's really only his third pro season. And then Drake and Brown, who are really only about a year deep into being pros. Pierce Brown, Derek Drake. Pierce Brown is fast, dude. He's fun to watch. He's super fast. If I were to pick one guy that could really bring that team to the heights to get him on the podium, I'm picking Pierce Brown. But with that speed comes crashes too. That team has been beleaguered. They've had a rough go for a while. I'm hoping that Pierce Brown is the guy that gets them through. JT, they need something to happen.
Yeah, I mean, he has to be where their hopes are, but I personally don't think that Pierce is ready to go battle with the front guys. I think he's a year away from that. I think he'll have flashes of brilliance. We saw him race WW Ranch, rode pretty well, pretty strong finish, right? I think it gave us a little insight as to what he's capable of. I just don't think maturity-wise and top-end speed-wise he's necessarily ready yet. That doesn't mean he won't be in the top 10 a lot of the year, but I think if you're looking at it from TLD KTM, Red Bull KTM side, you need a race-winning guy. I just don't think he's there yet, and maybe he proves me wrong, but that's how I see it.
Yeah, there's so little room in that class. Go ahead.
I think Brandon Hartraft's my sleeper, boys. I like Hartraft. I like what everything that he does. I think he's a hard worker from people I talk to. He's on a good team and a bike. Willie podium? No. Can he get top 5? Yes. And I think he'll be top 10 overall in the standings at the end of the year. He's consistent. He's in shape. He tries really hard. I like Brandon Hartraft to be my sleeper.
Yeah, and I just want to mention, everyone, we have not mentioned Garrett Marchbanks because he, like Forkner, is out maybe for all the Nationals. Maybe he'll be back. The schedule is
he's out for the summer. No, he's done. Yeah.
Even though we're going into October now, he's definitely done. All right.
Yeah.
That's why we did not mention him. We didn't forget. So that team is beleaguered with injuries. Troy Lee Design team needs to get something to happen. We know that the Geico team and the Star Racing team is definitely going to be strong coming in, but it's the 250s, man. You never know quite for sure, although things are certainly lining up for a couple riders at the top. I want to thank New Ray Toys. Go to newrayusa.com for info on these toys that are coming soon, or just go to your local dealership, and I think they sell them at the racetracks too to get a look at those. JT, flyracingusa.com. That's the place to check it out, right?
Very exciting. July 31st. So that might be today. I don't know.
Yeah. Whatever day you're watching this,
fortune teller.
Yeah.
But yes, July 31st is the day.
All right, Fly Racing USA to check it out. Then go to your local motorcycle dealership or e-retailer to check that out. And ProMotocross.com is the official site for the series if you want schedule and tickets information, or just go to RacerXOnline.com. We have a thing called How to Watch every week. It'll tell you where to watch them on TV. And don't forget the NBC Sports Gold package if you want to just have every single moto. You can literally be fishing and watching it on your phone. I have buddies that do that. Saturday afternoon, fishing, watching motocross on their phone with NBC Sports Gold. Just sign up for the package. That's our show for the 250 class. Again, thanks to Fly Racing and New Ray Toys for backing us. We'll see you at the races, everybody.
Troll Train.